Started on the new building several months ago. The new Schneider alleys are modern in every detail. Soda, lunch, and cigars will be offered for sale for the enjoyment of the bowlers.
Elgin 100 Years Ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 Years Ago at www.elginhistory.com.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. This afternoon, sunny with a high near 16, cooling to around 12. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 2. Looking ahead to Friday, snow showers likely, with a high near 19 and temperatures dropping to around 14. Currently, it's 16 and clear. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Listen this Sunday afternoon to Handle on the Law.
I know we're at an at-will date, but for making a comment, like, hey, your hair looks good. And then I got a call from HR saying, hey, you know what, you're under investigation. Do I have any recourse?
Were you fired?
No, not yet.
The problem, Eddie, is they can fire you for any reason they want. They literally can wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm a little bored this morning. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire Eddie for no reason. Yep, he can do that. Yeah, that's California. Yep, welcome.
It's Handle on the Law this Sunday afternoon from 4 to 7 right here on WRMN.
This year, America's First Responders Fest 2025 was a huge success, and we couldn't have done it without the Village of Burlington and Village President Mary Kay Welsen. Your support helped bring the Fox River Valley together in the Village of Hampshire to celebrate the heroes who keep us safe every day. Thank you, Village of Burlington, for standing behind America's First Responders Fest 2025 and for standing with those who serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big Time Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome in to another edition of Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. If you want to be a part of the conversation, please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or you could check my tired mug out on YouTube at WRMN Radio. That's YouTube at WRMN Radio. And before I get into this next conversation coming up, don't forget Super Bowl is coming up on February the 8th. And, can you think of a better place to go to other than the Schaumburg's Boomers Wintrust Field and take in the game there for the Super Bowl benefit bash of the Athletes Headquarters Foundation. Tickets are $125. It is going to be live streamed food, open bar, free parking, silent auction, raffles, and games. The event is sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Vicelli Law, WRMN 1410 AM. And joining me now on the phone, it is none other than Derek Shomon, the Chicago White Sox new hitting coach. How in the hell are you doing, Derek?
I'm good, man. That was fantastic. Excellent intro. Well done. You're good at this.
Well, you're one of the few that will say that, so I appreciate that. For those of you that don't know, Derek Shomon is the new hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox. He came over from, well, not recently, but he was the assistant hitting coach for the Minnesota Twins. Last year, he served as the assistant hitting coach for the Miami Marlins. And now your Chicago White Sox as the hitting coach. And before we get into any of the baseball talk, why don't we get into Athletes Headquarters Foundation and the benefit bash that is going to be taking place on February the 8th?
Yeah, D, I appreciate the intro on that front. I think you did a really good job, describing what we're going to be having going on. Super appreciative to the Schaumburg Boomers and Wintrust Field for hosting this event. The Athletes Headquarters Foundation was founded with the purpose of providing resources and kind of breaking down barriers that stand in the way of kids being able to get involved in sports and wellness. I think there's just so much opportunity for us to be able to give back. And help what is a real, large group of people that want to get involved. And they just there's a lot of obstacles that stand in the way. So started the Athletes Headquarters Foundation with a very near and dear friend of mine, Megan Biebel, with the purpose of just providing support and helping those that need it. And since its inception, we've seen a lot of amazing work done and a lot of people contributing in a variety of ways, which has allowed us to really push forward with our mission. So the Super Bowl benefit bash that we're doing at Boomer Stadium is just going to be an opportunity to get everybody together in a room and enjoy the game, but also eat some good food. As you alluded to, open bar. There will be silent auction with a ton of good items, just a wide array of things, right? So much less just like baseball memorabilia, but some hunting trips that are going to be auctioned off, some signed musical instruments by some pretty important people, a lot of really, really good stuff. And again, kudos to the Athletes Headquarters Foundation team that has put a ton of work in to getting this thing set up.
No, I know one of the items, and, not ashamed of admitting this, but one of the items is going to be authenticated Taylor Swift memorabilia.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, kudos to our people, man. Yep.
One of the things that I did notice was that there is going to be, I'm trying to find it on the list that Megan gave me, and basically one of the prizes or one of the silent auction items is to get, what is it, on-field access to the Chicago White Sox during a game?
Yeah, so it'll be tickets to a White Sox game at some point throughout the year, and then also BP passes for that game, which gets you on the field right behind the shell during batting practice. So there'll be a few items like that, a few opportunities, like I said, amongst a lot of other things. But really, if you're looking for something to do Super Bowl night, somewhere safe, that you're going to be fed well, that you're going to have the open bar, and you're going to have good entertainment and be around good people, I think this is a really, really good opportunity or something that you should strongly consider doing with either by yourself or with your friends and family.
And other than yourself, because I know that you're going to be in attendance, who else is going to be there, star-wise?
Star-wise? Well, I'm hardly a star. Just have to wait and see, man. It all depends on who decides to show up. But no, I think there's just going to be a lot of good people. I think much less star-wise, there's just going to be a bunch of good people in that room at that field that are there for a good cause, most importantly.
Okay, fair enough. Now, Athletes HQ Foundation, that is a 501c3. So all the money that is raised via this event goes into the foundation. So to basically help and support the kids that are, that need the help and support. It's not like you guys are taking a penny or anything from it. One of the things.
100% volunteer. We're 100% volunteer.
Awesome. Now, one of the other things that, I find as far as the Athletes HQ Foundation goes is that you guys take refurbished items and gear, whether it be like catcher's gear, hockey gear, golf clubs, et cetera, et cetera. Tell me a little bit, or tell the listeners out there, what you guys do with these items, because I don't think I've been doing it justice.
No, I think it just all has a place, right? Like, you might feel like that equipment is worn and it's beyond its time for maybe your athlete at your house, but like some other kid needs it, and we'll use that in order to go actually play the sport that they desire to play. So I think like we're accustomed to donating other places. This isn't like new, this idea of recycling old equipment, but just know that like the Athletes Headquarters Foundation has this very strong mission and purpose to be able to take that equipment that is so generously donated and get it in the hands of kids that absolutely need it, that really like stands in the way of potentially them being able to get involved in sport and wellness, right? Because there's some obstacle in place. So your generous donation is allowing them to compete. And we know that being involved in competing in sport and in wellness, like, provides a lot of really good opportunities and blocks potentially some really bad ones. So just know that like it is going to a really, really good cause again.
That's going to be an awesome event. I will be in attendance as well. Not that, Triple Z.
Star power.
Yeah, right.
Star power.
Well, I appreciate that. You want to talk a little baseball?
Yeah, we can talk some baseball for sure.
All right. So what's it been like? I mean, coming in from the Miami Marlins, Chicago White Sox have obviously signed Japanese slugger Munetaka Murakami to a 2-year deal. What's that been like?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I mean, that's obviously a big free agent signing, to add with the lights of Colson Montgomery, who had one hell of a season in his rookie year last year. The organization is adding some thump to it. What are your thoughts on the signing and, just getting going, really?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's been a hell of an offseason.
Did I lose you?
I got you there. It's been a super exciting offseason. And I talk often about the work that was done last year with the White Sox from top to bottom. And this year it's just like the ground up approach, just continuing to attack the simple things that are going to allow us to be competitive on every given night and put ourselves in a position to win baseball games. Signing Muni is massive. This is a real bat with real thump. He won the Triple Crown in 2022, I believe it was. And then came up monstrous in the WBC, massive clutch during that WBC, the previous one. It's a real threat. And so signing Muni was huge. And then, like you already alluded to, like Colson's success last year and looking to build on that moving into this season, and just the overall like core young group of players that are hungry to continue to prove that they can provide well above average major league impact and value. And in the pursuit of doing that, we are collecting wins as a club. So awesome off season, super excited to get down to Arizona and get this thing rolling. I know that the players feel the same way. I know that the staff feels the same way. Front office feels the same way. So we feel like we're all pushing in the same direction.
Nice. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. Joining me right now on the phone line is Derek Shomon, the Chicago White Sox hitting coach. Now, going forward, you said building from the ground up, building the foundation from the ground up. Give an idea to the fans out there what you mean by that.
Yeah, ground up approach, right? So like the little things that sometimes get overlooked, right? Applying pressure at all times, first step out of the box, hard 90s, having good quality at bats, like understanding what the situation dictates. You know, you get to 2 strike counts, where are you conceding? What changes inside of the approach? Celebrating the back it up, shoot it the other way. Those little things that are baseball, right? I think that sometimes get overlooked, and because of that, they're not celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that we highlight. Those are the things that we very much believe are still in play inside of Major League Baseball. And yes, we love the 3-run bolt in the 7th inning, but those other things are just as important. So we prioritize those. We talk about them early and often to highlight their importance. And that is in summation, a ground up approach, right? It's just not overlooking the little things that do lead to big impact.
Now you kind of touched on something that I was listening to in that statement there, shooting, or you get really excited in our conversations that we've had off air, obviously at either here in the WRMN studios or at your facility, Athletes HQ Foundation. Why do you get so excited when someone goes the opposite direction, or hits to the opposite field, I should say?
Yeah, I think it's just like indication of a lot of good stuff going on, right? Like deepening the contact point, staying short, beating the ball to the inside, good direction, good path. Like I celebrate that as much as 2K, like spoiling a ball over the other dugout. I mean, I think like that's sick. Or taking a nasty slider that, you know, you might want to go ahead and offer at. Like, again, it's just, what does that do for you? It just keeps you in the game. You're multifaceted. You're not completely selling out for a slug. Like, and look, slug's important, no doubt. Like, extra base hits are great, but also knowing what the situation dictates and knowing that, like, what good looks like in that moment is backing it the hell up and freaking dumping something in the opposite field. Like, that's a win. That's a hell of a win to keep the line moving. So,
yeah,
be very loud and celebrate the hell out of that.
Oh, absolutely. And that is definitely something that I think has been lacking on the South Side. You know, my humble opinion from the 30,000-foot view, you know, if you will, because one of the things that's been lacking over the last, you know, few years, according to, you know, all the next-gen stats, you know, the rate plays as kind of like a bandbox. And your opponents or not your opponents, but the opponents that the Sox have been facing over the last couple of years have been hitting more home runs at the rate as opposed to the Chicago White Sox. Is there something that you can do, you know, in coaching up the players to maybe get like a little bit more loft, or is it just making straight, solid contact?
Yeah, you're always chasing just like barrels, right? You want to hit balls hard at good angles. You can absolutely do things to influence loft, but proceed with caution, right? Like in the pursuit of creating more loft, you certainly don't want to create longer swings. You don't want to create dumpier swings. You don't want to create inefficient paths, right? Like we want to be direct, short is king. But yeah, man, there's like guys that absolutely benefit from decreasing the ground ball rate and doing so by pursuing more line drive focus, right? Just trying to elevate, simply put. So yeah, for sure, you can absolutely influence it, but as in all things, like just proceed with caution and know when you go too far. And if you go too far, how do you reel that back in? So,
gotcha. And it was really interesting when I was out there with you guys about a month or so ago in seeing like how you guys actually prepare. And by you guys, I mean big league hitters. It was very eye-opening to myself. You know, I know the whole, or try to make contact, try to do this and try to do that. But I mean, you're talking, it is a very long day at the ball yard once you come in, because you're going over scouting reports, you're going over pitcher tendencies, you're doing the warm-ups, you're doing the workouts, all of that stuff. Is there one particular aspect of it that you value more than anything else?
No, I think I value most importantly is like the players doing whatever they have to do to be as mentally and physically prepared to compete that night at 640 every single day. And that does look different for each guy. they're hitting all of those touch points throughout that pregame like work schedule, but some guys are going to pour more into one area than another, and that's okay. Like whatever gets them mentally and physically prepared to go out and compete at first pitch that night, that's what matters most to me. And yes, it is a long day. I mean, this is their jobs, right? Like it's our jobs, just as everybody else that's got a job. They are long days, and there is a lot that goes into preparing for a Major League Baseball game. I mean, you're facing the best arms in the world, and they are getting better every single year. So we have to take care of our side of the street, and prepare accordingly. And that's cool that you really grabbed a hold of that from the hitting clinic here. And that was the messaging we tried to pass along to, these younger athletes that, hey, like if you aspire to play in college, that's the next stepping stone for a lot of the kids that were at the clinic. There's a version of this when you get to college, especially at the higher levels of college. There's real preparation in place. So, yeah, man, big league hitters, big league baseball players they're impressive, man. They're impressive. They are asked to do a lot on a daily basis for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's just the regular season. So,
yeah. You guys are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN. My guest right now is Derek Shomon, the hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox. And do you mind if I switch it up to like the north side for a little bit, for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Answer a question for you.
Well, last year you were the assistant hitting coach for the Miami Marlins. And the Chicago Cubs just acquired via trade Edward Cabrera. What would you say or in your time in Miami, being around Edward Cabrera, what would you say that his makeup is as far as a pitcher goes?
Electric. He's electric, dude. Guy's got nasty stuff. I mean, you see it. Go on YouTube right now. If you know how to operate Baseball Savant or Fangraphs, go on YouTube. Watch some of his videos. I mean, it's electric stuff, man. It's real. It's why he was highly sought after last year at the deadline, and why he was sought after this offseason. Yeah, dude, it's every bit of real. And again, like, think about that. We need to prepare as a hitting group to go face that night and figure out not only one plan, but potentially two of, if one goes sideways, how we're going to beat this guy. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that, for giving me your information on Cabrera there. Now, with the season right around the corner, what are you doing to get prepared to head out to Arizona? I mean, this is one of those things that I don't necessarily think that like a lot of fans or, just people in general have like an understanding of what an absolute grind it is to be out there for as long as that you guys are, and just absolutely to prepare to go out there, to leave your families, to, go to work. So what are you doing?
Yeah. A lot of Zooms, a lot of phone calls with staff, checking in with players. Did some player visits a couple weekends ago to go see guys and hit with them. That's pretty much just like an inside look at the off season in general. But it's daily conversations, all different topics, all in the pursuit of when you get to Arizona, you hit the ground running. So not to sit here and hit on those like individual topics. It's just as you could imagine, a variety of things that are prioritized, that need to be discussed, that need to be hashed out. So when we get down there, we're full steam ahead. Once we get to Camelback, and then like aside from that work side, it's spending some time with the family, and they know the deal. They understand what I do, and many other families alike that have their significant others in professional baseball. But it's good work. We're gone, but we're fortunate to be in the positions that we're in, and I wouldn't trade it in for anything else.
And last question before we wrap up here. How has it been being back in, the Chicagoland area, being signed with, the Chicago White Sox, and actually being a part of the team that you grew up watching? Yeah,
it honestly, Derek, hasn't hit me yet. and you've heard me say this before, and I've said it on probably every media call I've had this offseason. When I took the job officially, I had a moment of gratitude and just super thankful, and for no more than a moment, because shortly thereafter it was, okay, what do we got to do? What are next steps? What needs to be done? What direction are we pushing? Because there is work to do, right? So I still feel like I'm operating very much inside of that realm. I don't think it'll hit me until opening day. And I will tell you that shortly after it hits me, it'll be right back to the same realm I'm in, which is, okay, we got work to do. And I think that's who I am, but I think that's just the nature of the beast. This is a game that presents challenges so often, and those challenges require solutions. You feel like you plug 4 holes one day, and you show up the next day, and there's another 3 that are unplugged. So it's just a constant game of problem solving. But I know that's long-winded. I will say, I'm super, super grateful, super fortunate to have an opportunity to be back in my hometown and working for the club that I did root for so passionately as a kid growing up. But there's work to do, and I'm super excited about the challenges ahead.
Well, I do appreciate you coming on, Derek. And don't forget to get your tickets for Athletes HQ Foundation's benefit, the Super Bowl benefit bash at Wintrust Field on February the 8th. Thanks for joining me, Derek.
D, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
I'm Ryan.
Have a good one.
Brought to you by KFC.
See ya.
Illinois American Water has asked the Illinois Commerce Commission to approve nearly $577 million in system upgrades through 2027. If approved, bills would rise about $14 for water and $28 for wastewater per month. The U.S. Department of Justice is urging a Southern Illinois federal judge to reject Illinois' attempt to dismiss a lawsuit over discounted college tuition for undocumented immigrants. The DOJ argues the policy violates federal immigration law and discriminates against U.S. citizens. Illinois lawmakers are pushing new legislation to require employers to protect workers from extreme heat and cold. The Workplace Extreme Temperature Safety Act would set temperature thresholds and require warming areas, protective gear, and rest breaks. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let him know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
If you have been charged with driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs in Cook County, DuPage County, or Lake County, Illinois, call the law office of Mark Sheblow at 773-775-5050. That's 773-775-5050. Attorney Mark Sheblow has over 29 years of law experience handling DUI defense, traffic violations, CDL violations, and Secretary of State driver's license reinstatement hearings. All aspects of your case will be examined in order to find evidence that may help your case, especially the statutory summary suspension of your driving privileges. If your breath alcohol concentration level at the time of the DUI arrest is 0.08 or more, then the summary suspension of your driver's license begins 46 days
Thanks for
after
joining
the
in,
arrest.
everyone.
Time is a crucial factor in challenging the summary suspension of your driver's license. Our law office is located at 5945 North Elston Avenue in Chicago. That's 5945 North Elston Avenue in Chicago. And again, our office phone number is 773-775-5050.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Progressive. This afternoon, sunny with a high near 16, cooling to around 12. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 2. Looking ahead to Friday, snow showers likely, with a high near 19 and temperatures falling to around 14. A chance of precipitation is expected. Currently, it's 15 and clear. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday, if you've got that kind of self-control. I mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into right nowers. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. I want to thank my guest for the last half hour, Derek Shomon, the hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox. And man, I can't believe that pitchers and catchers are going to be reporting. Report date is February 10th, a couple days right after the big game, Super Bowl. And man, that just means summer is right around the corner, and I can't wait. But if you haven't already gotten your tickets to the Super Bowl benefit bash at the Schaumburg Boomers Wintrust Field, go do that now. Game is on, obviously, February the 8th. Tickets are $125. There's going to be a live stream of the Super Bowl, food, open bar, free parking, silent auction, raffle, games. It is sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Visalia Law, and WRMN 1410 AM. And you are currently listening to Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And, well, I don't have any guests scheduled. Please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. As always, you could check my lovely face out on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. That's youtube.com at WRMN Radio. And then also, don't forget to tune into the WRMN Morning Show with Susie C. and Elliot the L Train Serrano every Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And Derek Shomon joins a big list of the new 2026 Chicago White Sox coaching staff, along with pitching coach Zach Bovee, assistant pitching coach Bobby Hearn, obviously Derek Shomon, the new hitting coach. The assistant hitting coach still is Joe McTheon. New first base and outfield coach Jose Legger. Then you have Major League Field Coordinator Chris DeNorfia. And new bullpen catchers Bennett Markinson, and the old not the old one, but Luis Sierra and the Major League assistant, Tony Medina. It should be a good season for the Chicago White Sox. Now, not because let's just face it, 3 of the past years, 100-loss seasons, right? Well, I wholeheartedly believe that the Chicago White Sox are going to make it a much better season. Now, much better season, will they be 500? No, I'm not exactly sure, but will they lose 100 games this year? I highly doubt that. And one of the things that Derek was talking about was building things from the ground up, getting that new foundation built. It's why Chris Getz and the Chicago White Sox signed him. They looked at the job of what he was doing with the Miami Marlins. They were able to put the ball into play. They were able to manufacture runs. They were able to do the little things that made their team competitive. And going forward, this is just the building blocks for the Chicago White Sox going forward, because it is the smaller approach, in my opinion. Being able to do stuff with a 2-strike count, being able to shoot the ball the other way, to foul the ball off, to get into deeper counts, to drive the pitch counts up, to get the starter out of the game for the opposition, to get into that bullpen, to jump on the opposition early if you can. And I'm really looking forward to this Chicago White Sox season, which you could also hear on WRMN 1410 AM as well. And I am very happy to be in the spot where a majority of the games, my show will lead into the Chicago White Sox broadcast. Admittedly, selfishly, I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to getting out there to the ballpark this year, to being able to, have Derek on as a regular contributor, barring obviously his busy schedule. And one of the things that I found in doing a little bit of the research before the interview was that, and this should give you an idea of like how local Derek Shomon is, that back in the day when the Chicago White Sox were in the World Series, him dressing up in his Chicago White Sox garb, taking a broom to school because it was during the World Series and he was supporting his team, his local team. I really enjoy when players and coaches, for that matter, that grew up in the area rooting for a specific team and then comes back and then either plays for the team or coaches for the team. And there's just something really down to earth, and in the conversations that I've had with Derek, to where he's just a down to earth guy. Can he get loud? Oh, hell yeah, he can get loud. Absolutely. Because when he's coaching up his players and in the batting cage, and his players takes one to the opposite field, man, big booming voice, and he just yells, "Shooter!" Obviously, he doesn't have the reverb or anything like that, but that's what he likes. That's the type of hitting coach that he is. And I get pumped every time I talk to the dude. And I'm sure that there are a lot of Chicago White Sox fans out there that will absolutely enjoy his demeanor on the bench or when you see him in person. Because it's a thing. It's awesome. You'd think, big head or whatever, but they're just another human being, and they are down to earth. And he loves what he does, and it comes across from what he does. And make no mistake about it, dude is family. Dude is and it is part of the reason, part of a perk that, being a Chicago White Sox hitting coach, yep, being in the area, being actually able to spend more time with his wife and his family. So that's pretty damn cool when you're able to make it, you put in the work, and you come back home. I love it. I'm excited for the Chicago White Sox season. Yes, and most of you know I am a Chicago Cubs fan. That doesn't mean Jack Smurf. And the reason why I say it doesn't mean Jack Smurf is because I have a hell of a lot more fun talking about good Chicagoland sports teams. Plain and simple. Yeah, I got a call. Might as well take it. Hello, caller. What's your name and what are you calling about?
It's Ted Hudgens. I'm an avid White Sox fan. Been that way my whole life. But I kind of wish I'd been able to talk and call in when you had Derek on the phone. It seems like the last few years, the White Sox sluggers have extremely slow starts. Like nobody's hitting 200, let alone 225 to 250. Vaughn, look, they trade away Vaughn, and he's like he's the MVP of, hitter of the league. But with the White Sox, they couldn't hit. I'm sure that's why they have a new hitting coach. But, it's like Luis Robert. Luis Robert hit horribly at the beginning of the season. Every season it seemed like since this, beginning rookie one he had. But I didn't know if you had any thoughts to that. It'd been interesting to hear if you get to interview him again to see what Derek thought about that. Why is it Chicago that we have such horrible hitting? There's other cold weather climates, teams, and they don't seem to have the problems the White Sox do. You have any feelings that way?
Well, as far as, pitching is just a hell of a lot more dominant these days than what it is. I mean, the Major League Baseball batting average last season was somewhere around the neighborhood of 240 to 250. So if you got a guy that was hitting around 240 or 250, he was average last year. Now, I understand what you're saying as far as, the players not being able to hit, but I'm not exactly sure. That's on a player-to-player basis, whether or not they can figure out stuff, if they're not in their own head. And because at the rate, it is a bandbox. It's one of the stadiums that's considered a bandbox. And by bandbox, I mean you should be able to hit home runs. But for whatever reason, over the last few seasons, Chicago White Sox have been getting out-homered. What was the other question that you were asking?
Well, I just think about overall hitting early in the season, and I think you covered that. I think as far as that goes. just what Derek was going to do to change it. I guess the other question, what Derek thought to do to change it. And I know he's not out there now, can't answer that right now. But if you get a chance to interview him again, it'd be nice to hear, something like that. And I'll tell you, I'm a true blue White Sox fan. I don't root against the Cubs, but I don't root for them necessarily. But I was at 2005 Game 2 World Series, front row between the dugout and the tarp. Got to see the most prolific games ever. As Paulie had a grand slammy to take the lead. Bobby Jenks blew the save, and Pacific came up to hit his first home run of the year as a walk-off. What a prolific game. It's been the only World Series game to have those three things happen. But, it'd be nice to get back to that point again. I was not a huge fan of Getz's hiring and what he'd done with the minor league system, but it seems like in the long haul he's maybe going to make it happen. I certainly hope so. My sake is I sat as a youngster and watched every White Sox game with my dad.
Yeah. So as a fan for this season coming up, how optimistic are you that it's going to be a better season for the Chicago White Sox?
Oh, I think they'll. I don't think they'll lose 100 games.
No.
I certainly hope they don't. I hope they don't lose more than 95 myself. But it's hard to turn that around in 1 year. Not like football that we've seen. You go from the rabbit hole up to the top of the heap. As far as they've had it. In football, sometimes you can change the season around. Just look at the Bears. Look at one of the Super Bowl teams. They had 3 wins last year, and they're in the Super Bowl this year. So it's not like in baseball. You can't do it in 1 year.
No, not at all.
White Sox are going to spend money to get bigger hitters in because their hitting was horrible last year. And I remember
this is true. But I'm sorry to interrupt you. I got to take a break. But I do appreciate.
So you take care.
Thank you for calling in. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy listening.
And you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Need to take a break. Be back in a few.
When it comes to orthopedic and spine surgery, Prime Healthcare St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin leads the way. Recognized by U.S. News and World Report as a high performer across multiple surgery types, we offer advanced and minimally invasive procedures supported by state-of-the-art imaging technology. Our expert surgeons and compassionate care teams are here to help you move, heal, and live better every step of the way. St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin, exceptional care close to home.
Building a house is hard, but have you tried removing one? Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-0400 or visit floodbrothersdisposal.com. Flood Brothers Disposal, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Fitting in shouldn't be hard, whether in life, on the court, or in the classroom. At Elgin Community College, you could find your place alongside those expanding their horizons, exploring rewarding careers, and achieving their dreams. A place for doers, thinkers, and believers. At ECC, we see you, we believe in you, and you'll fit right in. Learn more at elgin.edu/belong.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US
US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. That's 800-785-1673.
And you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And thank you for everyone that is listening and paying attention on the tube of views at WRMN Radio. That's YouTube or youtube.com at WRMN Radio. Well, it only took me about 54 minutes to, muck it up, but that's all right. I got the squirrels in my head, running rampant. And, so thank you for everyone that's watching there. Thank you for listening as well. And, man, I really, with this time of year, so we had one hell of an NFL football season with the Chicago Bears. One hell of a year. Despite the fact that, they are not playing in the big game, the Super Bowl, whatever, it is still one hell of a season. And I didn't realize, probably because I really didn't cover it on a daily basis or do sports talk radio on a daily basis, like how short the bridge is between football to baseball. And with the Bears season ending a couple weeks or so ago, made January fly by hell of a lot faster. And if you are a football diehard fan and that's your favorite sport, I understand. I get it. But it makes it a little bit more palatable considering the fact that our other Chicago sports teams, a.k.a. the Chicago Blackhawks, a.k.a. the Chicago Unbelievables, oh my great googly moogly, what the smurf was that last night? I'll definitely be getting into that on the other side after the top of the hour rejoin, but my goodness, I don't even understand what that dumpster fire of a game was last night. Forget that. And now the Chicago Blackhawks will be in action tonight in Pittsburgh, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight at 6 p.m. So as soon as I get off, the Blackhawks get on the ice and take in one of the greats of the game, Crosby, Sid the Kid. And, hopefully they will be able to put to bed that 3-game losing streak with that most recent loss to the Minnesota Wild in a shootout. That was this past Tuesday. Been grateful to have so many people contributing over this past week. It's been a very fun week as far as I'm concerned. I hope you feel the same way about it, but Monday with Andrew Scheid, that was a lot of fun. Then I had Marcus Mack. We were chalking it up, chopping it up too about the Derrick Rose jersey retirement night. And then yesterday with Bob Mariner in studio. And then hell, today, Derek Shomon, hitting coach of the Chicago White Sox, talking about Athletes HQ Foundation and the Super Bowl bash that's coming up. Also being able to chop up and talk a little bit of baseball right around the corner. And I had absolutely no idea like how soon it was right around the corner. But my goodness, it's been fun. And this is exactly why I do this here on WRMN 1410. And why I am so... Hey, you missed the NASCAR talk yesterday, buddy. You missed it. But you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410.
If your idea of therapy involves a fishing rod, a tree stand, or a campfire, then you need American Outdoors Radio. Host John Cruz speaks your language, whether it's about the best lures, tracking game, or that one buddy who always forgets to bring the beer. John's got the tips to sharpen your aim, the hacks to pack lighter, and the stories to keep you entertained. Again, that's American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz. Saturdays at 7 a.m. on WRMN 1410. Or stream it at WRMN1410.com. Get ready to outfish, outhunt, and outcamp them all on American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410 Elgin time 5.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by KFC. Illinois American Water has asked the Illinois Commerce Commission to approve nearly $577 million in system upgrades through 2027. If approved, bills would rise about $14 for water and $28 for wastewater per month. The U.S. Department of Justice is urging a Southern Illinois federal judge to reject Illinois' attempt to dismiss a lawsuit over discounted college tuition for undocumented immigrants. The DOJ argues the policy violates federal immigration law and discriminates against U.S. citizens. Illinois lawmakers are pushing new legislation to require employers to protect workers from extreme heat and cold. The Workplace Extreme Temperature Safety Act would set temperature thresholds and require warming areas, protective gear, and rest breaks. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let him know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Rain-X. The U.S. Department of Justice is urging a Southern Illinois federal judge to reject Illinois' attempt to dismiss a lawsuit over discounted college tuition for undocumented immigrants. The DOJ argues the policy violates federal immigration law and discriminates against U.S. citizens. Illinois lawmakers are pushing new legislation to require employers to protect workers from extreme heat and cold. The Workplace Extreme Temperature Safety Act would set temperature thresholds and require warming areas, protective gear, and rest breaks. Illinois American Water has asked the Illinois Commerce Commission to approve nearly $577 million in system upgrades through 2027. If approved, bills would rise about $14 for water and $28 for wastewater per month. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday, if you've got that kind of self-control. I mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into right hours. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIP.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Progressive. This afternoon, sunny with a high near 16, cooling to around 12. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 2. Looking ahead to Friday, snow showers likely, with a high near 19 and temperatures falling to around 14. A chance of precipitation is expected. Currently, it's 15 and clear. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday, if you've got that kind of self-control. I mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into right hours. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees.
Firearms are the #1 cause of death among kids, but we know that healthcare workers can make a huge difference. This is why prevention is absolutely critical. It starts with listening to the community, leaning in on those conversations to better inform what is the approach that you want to take. You are the champions for change. You can be the catalyst for integrating firearm injury prevention strategies into your practice and really benefiting your community. Let's agree to agree that we all have a role to play in ending this crisis.
Ready to tackle your junk piles? Call the Junk Luggers. From old furniture to entire cleanouts, we do the heavy lifting. And here's the best part. We rehome and recycle as much as possible to keep it all out of landfills. Feel good about your cleanout the green way. Call 1-800-LUG-JUNK or visit junkluggers.com today for your eco-friendly, stress-free service.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big Time Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. you want to be a part of the sporting conversation going forward, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Chicago Blackhawks, a little bit about the Chicago Bulls, the Unbelievables, the Unbelievables. Dear. That was just a painful game to listen to. I could only imagine how painful it was to actually watch as a Chicago Bulls fan. But before I get to that, please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Join me on YouTube at youtube.com at WRMN Radio. That's youtube.com at WRMN Radio. Yes, I actually interact on that platform, youtube.com at WRMN Radio. And if you maybe want to get a text in at 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. And don't forget to check out the WRMN Facebook page. Well, there is no Susie C question of the day. Why? Because tomorrow is going to be Free Form Friday, where anything and everything possible could happen with Susie C and Elliot, the L Train Serrano, starting at 6 a.m. And then I would be remiss if I didn't say to check out the save the date for the Super Bowl benefit bash with or at the Schaumburg Boomers Wintrust Field as part of the Athletes Headquarters Foundation. That's February 8th, Super Bowl. Tickets are $125. It's going to be live streamed. Food and open bar, free parking, silent auction, raffles, games. Sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Vaselli Law, and WRMN 1410 AM as well. And go to ahqfoundation.com. I'm sorry, ahqfoundation.org. ahqfoundation.org. Click on the events. Go get your tickets there. The prizes and everything are absolutely the silent auction. The prizes, those are bonkers. I can only imagine what kind of games and everything there's going to be. It is going to be a good time. And as prefaced, Derek Shomon, the new hitting coach of the Chicago White Sox, will be in attendance. I will also be there. Go see him. Go see him. I'm just going to be there to enjoy the atmosphere and everything because it should be one hell of a time. And So what do you want to talk about? I see we're talking about the bobsled, for the upcoming 2026 Winter Olympics. We're talking NASCAR there. Sorry, Jose, on the YouTube at WRMN Radio, youtube.com at WRMN Radio. I sure as hell don't think that the New England Patriots are going to beat the Seahawks. I'll get to why on, upcoming. But first, I want to talk about, I don't really want to talk about, but I want to talk about the Chicago. Wait, hold on a second. I could do this better. I want to talk about the Chicago Unbelievables. Do I have to? Okay, no, I don't really have to. I mean, this is my show, but my goodness. Okay. Chicago Bulls last night were taking on a team in the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers, who currently have a 12-36 record on the season. Now, make no mistake about it, the Indiana Pacers are missing one of their key cogs that make everything go round. That would be Tyrese Halliburton. He's still suffering from that injury, suffered in the NBA Final, that Game 7. So, yeah, they've been missing him. They've also had other key injuries and everything as well. But out of the 12 victories that the Chicago Bulls have had, I'm sorry, rewind. Out of the 12 victories that the Indiana Pacers have had on this season, 3 of which have come against the Chicago Bulls. 3. And last night was just another iteration of what had transpired. The Chicago Bulls blew a 14-point fourth quarter lead to lose by the score of 113-110 against the Indiana Pacers last night. Even though you got contributions for the Bulls from Nikola Vucevic, 25 points. You also had 2 dimes, which is 20, from Matas Buzelis. However, the Indiana Pacers went on an 18-4 run that was in the final minutes of yesterday's fourth quarter game. At one point, the Chicago Bulls were up 101-87 with 7 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. 101-87. Let's see if I could get my math brain here. They were up by 14 frickin' points with 17-14 left in the fourth quarter. Oh my goodness. The game was tied at 105 all with 2 minutes left in the game. Key turnovers, last minutes, last seconds. And that is something that has been the bugaboo with the Chicago Bulls this whole season. Because what is it? Last night, the Chicago Bulls had 11 turnovers. Indiana only had 6. You want to know how many points off those turnovers were? Indiana had 8 points off the turnovers. The Chicago Bulls only had 4. 8 from 4 is 4. And there's your ball game. The inconsistent play, the sloppiness, the lack of ball control, it's been an absolute bugaboo with the Chicago Bulls as of late. That's been going up and down, up and down. And with that being said, the Chicago Bulls now drop to 23-24 on the season. And I still can't believe that the Pacers improved to 3-0 against the Chicago Bulls this season, even though their record is what it is at 12-36. I'm not sure what it is. There's either the inconsistency here, the inconsistency of the first quarter or the first half of the game, where the Bulls digs themselves out of the Mariana Trench hole. Yes, I did refer to the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest part of the earth that sits about, I don't know, 15,000 feet below the sea surface. Yeah. That's how deep a hole that the Chicago Bulls seem to dig themselves in the very beginning of the games, where they are down double digits. Not only double digits, but 20-plus points. Digits. They scrap and claw their way back. Hey, cool, great. But why in the hell is everything happening to where you need to scrap and claw your way back from a 20-point difference? Is it? And a texter chimes in here, you know, they should fire Billy Donovan. Yes, and they need to play defense. Yes, yet again. They need to make points off of turnovers. Yes, they do. But at the same time, when you're in double digits of turnovers and the opposition is scoring off of those turnovers, there's no way to really overcome that. Which brings me to my second point. How in the hell are you up by 14 points in the last last 7 minutes and 14 seconds in the fourth quarter and give up those 14 points? And that seems to be the other side to that coin. The other side to that unbelievables coin. Because it's either the slow start or it's the absolute implosion. Now, I get it. The Chicago Bulls sit at 23-24 on the season. But at the same time, it's 23-24. And they're currently sitting in the 10th spot. And the trade deadline is looming. And while you may want to fire Billy Donovan, I think you need to look a little bit further up top with Karnisovas. And what the hell is going on with that? Can you make a trade? Can you bring assets back? Can you actually make a trade to where you get some draft capital? That would be new. That would be something. There are a few players that you probably get out of, under contract with. Make going into next season a little bit more manageable. But will things change? Until the trade deadline happens and until there's actually a trade to where the Chicago Bulls get something in return other than young players, maybe an actual draft lottery pick? Man, it's going to be the perpetual Groundhog's Day with the Chicago Unbelievable Bulls. You're currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Talk some hockey. Let's do that hockey on the other side of this break. Back in a few.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help.
Oh, listen, I completely and totally agree with you, Jose.
Question for the veterans listening.
I'm not exactly sure if it's Billy Donovan
You reached out for help.
I truly don't think that it's Billy Donovan.
Time to do for yourself.
But
if you or someone you know needs resources,
I've never, well, maybe with the Chicago Bears until recently, I've never seen an organization be so foolish in what it is that they do. And I'm not going to pretend that I understand the intricacies of the NBA salary cap, the coaching aspect of things, because some nights the Chicago Bulls come out like, a house on fire, and they actually do have a complete game where they're running up and down the court. They're playing defense on both ends of the ball, offensively and defensively.
Sign up for free at Lenovo.com/pro.
But yet, I cannot count. I cannot tell you how many games that I've listened to on the radio where it's where you have Swirsky or Wennington, I'm sorry, talk about the double-digit turnovers that they have. Oh, there's a bad pass. Oh, he thought that he was going to cut to the rack, and they thought he was going to do this, and they thought they were going to do that. Or they just, I don't know what he was thinking there. And the perplexity of it right there, if the commentators for the Chicago Bulls on radio are getting that upset, I could only imagine the Bulls fans that are watching the game on television. Because make no mistake about it, I'm driving around, I'm working, and I'm listening to the broadcast. I'm listening to the radio broadcast. So, I mean, it's just, it boggles my ever-loving mind.
Contributes to kids being more focused, which
I don't know what to say.
Their well-being.
But it needs to start at the top. It needs to start at the top. But I think they're happy with mediocrity. Coming back. And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Well, considering the fact that I'm just coming back from break and I've only got about 5 minutes because I actually want to do a little bit of justice for the Chicago White Sox, I'm going to stick with the Chicago Unbelievables at this particular moment in time, just for the simple fact that, man, this is seemingly a very interesting schedule, to say the least. Now, the Chicago Bulls are going to be playing against the Miami Heat coming up tonight. It is a makeup game for the previous game that the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls were supposed to be playing a couple of weeks or so ago. So this is a makeup game. Oh, look. And then on Saturday, January 31st, who are the Bulls playing? In Miami? Oh, that would be none other than the Miami Heat. And then on back-to-back nights, they're playing none other than the Miami Heat in Miami. Back-to-back nights, Saturday and Sunday. Don't understand the scheduling at all. This has been one of those weird scheduling seasons, to say the least, as far as like the NBA. I don't understand, what's going on with the NBA scheduling. I do understand what's going on with the NHL scheduling, because you got players from the NHL going into the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan or in Italy or wherever, they are being played, and they're taking a respite from their season so their players can go play in the Olympics. I just don't understand this. And this is the second time where the Chicago Bulls have traveled down to someplace. I think the other one might have been Orlando, or I don't even know. Maybe it was Memphis. My memory is a little shady with that. But why? I get the fact that there needs to be the makeup game. I do. There was the unseasonably warm day to where the Chicago Blackhawks were playing the night before. They put the boards down. They opened up the door. Zzz, and the condensation and everything just leaked through. I get it. I understand it. And now, if you are a fan that was supposed to be going to that game, did you get reimbursed for parking? Did you get reimbursed for your concession stands that you spent the money on? The game that was canceled, the game that was postponed, the game that was supposed to be 2 weeks or so ago that's being played again tonight? Man, that just sounds like another cha-ching, cha-ching. Oh, Bulls. Unbelievable. As if you're not spending enough money at the United Center to watch them play. Oh, great googly moogly. 10th in the Eastern Conference. Chasing the Miami Heat, who are up on them by 2 games. In the 8th spot. Well, if there was ever a time that they needed to actually play complete games, these next 3 games would be them. Anywhooty, I digress. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. Back in a bit.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. The U.S. Department of Justice is urging a Southern Illinois federal judge to reject Illinois' attempt to dismiss a lawsuit over discounted college tuition for undocumented immigrants. The DOJ argues the policy violates federal immigration law and discriminates against U.S. citizens. Illinois lawmakers are pushing new legislation to require employers to protect workers from extreme heat and cold. The Workplace Extreme Temperature Safety Act would set temperature thresholds and require warming areas, protective gear, and rest breaks. Illinois American Water has asked the Illinois Commerce Commission to approve nearly $577 million in system upgrades through 2027. If approved, bills would rise about $14 for water and $28 for wastewater per month. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday, if you've got that kind of self-control. I mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into right nowers. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, The Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by KFC. Starting tonight, a winter weather advisory is in effect until tomorrow afternoon for the listening area. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 2. Looking ahead to Friday, snow showers are likely with a high near 19. Currently, it's 13 and clear. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Hey, if you want to get in any sports thoughts or comments or whatever, tell me how good or bad of a job I'm doing. Ooh, that could be a slippery slope right there. Please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or you could see my lovely mug on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. That's youtube.com at WRMN Radio. Or if you want to join or just get your thoughts off on the text line, that is 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. And as always, go to the WRMN Facebook page. Check us out there. Don't forget that tomorrow is Freeform Friday with the WRMN Morning Show. Susie C., Elliot the L Train Serrano, where almost anything goes. Before I start talking Blackhawks, need to do this a little announcement here. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. You're like, well, what the hell are we talking about? Well, on yesterday's show of Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 with the one, the only Bob Mariner, we were going over some NASCAR talk. So in doing a little bit of, trying to do a little bit of research for this race, for what was going to be happening. According to NASCAR.com/news. So go to NASCAR.com. You will see this article here that I am looking at. This is Clash at Bowman Gray. So Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is where the event is going to be taking place. The Cookout Clash events on Saturday, January 31st, including NASCAR Cup Series practice, qualifying, and heat races, have been postponed out of an abundance of caution due to expected winter weather. Man, this winter just seems to keep on going and going and going. Okay, the Cookout Madhouse Classic, featuring the NASCAR Weekly Series Modified and Sportsman's Division, has been postponed. A future date will be announced. The Clash preview at Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Event Center is still scheduled on Friday, January 30th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. The brand new event will serve as the official start to the action at Bowman Gray Stadium, offering unprecedented access to NASCAR Cup Series cars and drivers, live entertainment, and more before the race weekend gets underway. But, it sounds like the events and everything taking place on Saturday are no longer going to be there because of the massive winter storm warning. And it's not like it's in Chicago. Well, I mean, you wouldn't really have racing here until about June or July anyway. But typically speaking, you don't get that weather there in Winston-Salem, at least not to this degree. Let's see. The Cookout Clash is still scheduled for Sunday, February 1st. Practice and qualifying are scheduled from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time and will be broadcast live on FS2. The Last Chance Qualifier is scheduled for 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. NASCAR Race Day on Fox will begin at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox, followed by the Cookout Clash at 8 p.m. Eastern Time live on Fox. NASCAR is working closely with the city of Winston-Salem to monitor expected winter weather. Well, if you were a snowbird and you wanted to move down to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, or any of the other warm states, man, have you guys been going through it right now? Mother Nature just decided to bend everyone over the winter barrel, and just, you gotta grin and bear it and just take it as she gives it, apparently, because, man, ice storms down in Texas throughout, I mean, hell, you've been going through this. You've been living in the Chicagoland area this winter. The bitter cold. Actually, today was a nice day, and it was still below freezing levels. 20 degrees. I thought it was almost springtime. It felt good, as long as the wind wasn't blowing. But still, any amount of time out there in the elements, man, oh man, oh man. Yep, so there is that bit of news about NASCAR postponing a couple of events and everything. Hopefully their crews will be able to work through it, get through it, and something that I need to work into. Well, Chicago Blackhawks are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight at 6 p.m. Puck drop will be commencing roughly, we'll go 18, 19 minutes or so. And that is going to be at the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh. That's a hell of a name, marketing-wise, for the arena in itself. But hopefully the Chicago Blackhawks will be able to take on Sid the Kid and bounce back from their current 3-game losing streak, as is. Not looking too good as far as trying to get into the playoffs at this moment in time make the wild card or whatever it is, or the final seed. I don't believe, but yeah, man. Yeah, thankfully the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago White Sox, baseball in general, right around the corner. And man, thank you once again to the Chicago Bears for putting on the season that they put on, because great googly moogly. I just it's so much better when our teams are good. And one of the other things, Clark, new deal. So apparently Caitlin Clark, not only did she, apparently Caitlin Clark has inked a new deal. And this is going into, the Caitlin Clark signed a record-breaking 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal with Nike, establishing her as the premier athlete, reaching new heights, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. You already know that. But she is also going to be joining NBC's Basketball Night in America for select games as well. It's here. How do I come at this? I come at it with the fact that, remember all those months ago before the NBA season was supposed to be underway, and that it was supposed to be the deal with Michael Jordan adding some color commentary and being able to add a little bit of his air greatness to the air broadcast. Yeah, well, what has that been? It's basically been Michael Jordan snippets here and there every Sunday night. And, well, it looks like they're taking a little bit of a turn. They're bringing in Caitlin Clark to talk with the NBC Sports crew and add to their broadcasting coverage, where she's going to be a special contributor for the NBA. And and trying to boost up their ratings, obviously. That's kind of what it is. And yeah, I know. I was seeing the squirrels over here, and the squirrels were circling the nuts on the ground, from the tree. But I'll get into the Blackhawks on the other side of a break. But has that whole Michael Jordan thing on NBC during their Sunday night coverage fallen a little flat? I mean, you're expecting air greatness, and yes, he's talked and he's had his 2-3 minute snippets and everything off of the 3 or 4 hour interviews that he's done. But it almost seems like being sold a bill of goods. That's all I'm saying. But now, interesting to see what will happen with Caitlin Clark on the broadcasting team. Whether or not it's going to be a boon for their broadcast. I don't think she's got anything else better to do. I could be wrong. But at the same time, yeah, they're going through their whole WNBA, CBA negotiations before this upcoming season starts. So why not get the coin while you can? Anywho, this is Big Top Sports. Those were the squirrels collecting the nuts in my head. This is WRMN 1410 AM. I'm your nutty host, the stupid one, STOOPID. Derrick Geyer, back on the other side of this break.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, They specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, they're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
When it comes to orthopedic and spine surgery, Prime Healthcare St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin leads the way. Recognized by U.S. News and World Report as a high performer across multiple surgery types, we offer advanced and minimally invasive procedures supported by state-of-the-art imaging technology. Our expert surgeons and compassionate care teams are here to help you move, heal, and live better every step of the way. St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin, exceptional care close to home.
Kick off your weekend with a little flair. It's Dino's Night Out, every Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM. Dino brings you the best of the Fox Valley's entertainment scene. Live music, local artists, street festivals, great eats, and the personalities behind them. If it's happening, Dino's talking about it. And bringing the spotlight is none other than the legendary Arcada Theater, located at 105 East Main Street in St. Charles. Catch dinner, drinks, and a show, all under one historic roof. So whether you're making plans or just love to know what's hot, make it a date with Dino's Night Out, Fridays, 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM, or stream it live at WRMN1410.com. Dino's Night Out, powered by the Arcada Theater, where Fox Valley comes to play.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And as the Winter Olympics are slowly approaching, well, actually, they're right around the corner in a couple weeks. But the Chicago Blackhawks are still in action. And with that being said, what are they going to be doing over the next few weeks or so? Chicago Blackhawks have, as I've mentioned, have dropped the last 3 games that they played. 2-1 against the Lightning, 5-1 against the Florida Panthers. Shootout loss this past Tuesday against the Minnesota Wild. Now they are going up against the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight, starting at 6. You got the Columbus Blue Jackets coming here at the United Center tomorrow at 7:30. And then you got a couple of days off to hopefully bask in the victories that were those games. But the one thing that is, or the one thing that I'm kind of focusing on right now is who is going to be on the Chicago Blackhawks once the trade deadline comes and or goes. Because the way that it sits right now, the Blackhawks are still teetering. At last I checked, they were about 5 points in back of making a playoff spot. Now, since they've lost the last couple of games, that may have even, that deficit may have even gotten a little bit bigger. But in checking out the reporting that's going on with BleacherNation.com, there's the NHL's pre-Olympic trade freeze, and that's going to happen in about 6 days. Oh, and by the way, this is an article from BleacherNation.com, where I'm getting my info right now, and it is from Tab Bamford. Now, the Olympic trade freeze is about 6 days away. And this is the time where it is, are you going to push your chips in the middle of the ice rink, if you will, or are you going to be sellers at the deadline and get a little bit more capital? Well, Connor Bedard's third year, Frank Nazar as well, or Frank Nazar's second year. Yeah, whatever. But those are the two chips. Those are the two big prospects that essentially make the motor hum, if you will, as far as, it's hell getting old. Nothing like having a sharp shooting pain when you least expect it, let alone sitting in a chair and, man. Ooh, and I did absolutely nothing. Did nothing except adjust my position. Oh, riveting. I know. Very riveting. Oh, God bless it. Yeah, so afraid the trade deadline freezes in a few days, less than a week. And the Chicago Blackhawks have a few games that will be played before, the trade deadline actually happens, before the Olympic trade freeze is lifted on February 22nd, which is 12 days before the NHL trade deadline. Okay. But who are the likely trade piece candidates? Connor Murphy, Ilya Mikheyev, who's seemingly had an up and down season as far as Coach Blashill might be concerned. And this is my words, not him, because I just know that he's been sent down and called up, a few times from the Rockford Ice Hogs. Jason Dickinson. He is another name that has been mentioned. And then maybe Matt Grzelcyk. But, okay. Here you got Connor Murphy, big, strong, and experienced. Murphy has posted strong defensive results under less than favorable conditions with the Chicago Blackhawks in recent years. The right shot comes with an expiring contract that should be fairly easy to move, particularly in light of few options are likely to be available in free agency next summer. Ilya Mikheyev, big winger capable of playing up and down the lineup. Mikheyev brings a fair amount of versatility with his game. He's been deployed as a penalty killer throughout his NHL career and is a threat to score shorthanded. Not only is Mikheyev a pending UFA, unrestricted free agent, 15% of his contract was retained by the Vancouver Canucks in a previous trade. Good cap it right there. Jason Dickinson, a defense-first center who specializes in smothering opponents. Dickinson is ideally suited for a bottom six role on a strong team. He's produced strong underlying metrics for the Blackhawks this season, despite being fed a steady diet of defensive zone starts. While Dickinson doesn't produce much offense, he can anchor a shutdown line and bring added value as a penalty killer. Yeah, well, if there was ever a person or whatever to get traded from the Chicago Blackhawks, that may be of a benefit to a contending team. in this upcoming NHL playoffs, it would be Dickinson. I kind of liken that to Seth Jones getting traded and being a boon for the Florida Panthers last season and helping them out to win back-to-back Stanley Cups as well. So, I don't know. You going to push the chips in, get more draft capital? You're going to bring in players that are going to make a difference, maybe on the other end, so it's a win-win for the Chicago Blackhawks going forward? That remains to be seen. It's going to be interesting one way or the other. All I know is with the Chicago Unbelievables and the Chicago Blackhawks, it's just been one hell of an unimpressive roller coaster ride this season. Bright spots amid doldrums as well. Hey, I want to thank my guest for coming on earlier. He is with Athletes HQ Foundation. He is also the new hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox. Derek Shomon, appreciate your time. Thank you for lending your knowledge. Also want to thank in callers as well, callers and texters, always much appreciated. I am Derrick Geyer here on Big Top Sports, WRMN 1410 AM. Stay warm and have a great rest of your evening.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone in your community, or just taking a deep, calming breath when you need it. Nice. For mental health resources, check out loveyourmindtoday.org. At loveyourmindtoday.org, you'll find information that may help you get through a tough time. Things like tips for dealing with stress, how to navigate difficulties like financial worries, anger, substance use, and more. You can also find real stories of how people navigated their own mental health challenges. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 6 o'clock.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. Illinois lawmakers are pushing new legislation to require employers to protect workers from extreme heat and cold. The Workplace Extreme Temperature Safety Act would set temperature thresholds and require warming areas, protective